Hello everyone, welcome to the Corner Library here in Australia, Central Victoria to be exact. I hope you've all had a wonderful week. I am beaming at the moment because, as many of you will know, we've had very dry weather conditions. Last week I think I told you it was starting to rain, or it had been raining, and we measured the rainfall and we had 33.5 mil of rain, which was very much appreciated, very much cherished. We have noticed around the garden, everything's just come up feeling lively, looking lively. There's a little bit of green grass. The horses and the kangaroos out in the paddocks are having a lovely time on the green grass. So I'm very excited. Okay, there's a lot to tell you today. I want to tell you a little bit what I've got planned for the next month or so. And I do have a number of books here that I really do want to delve into a little. Obviously, I won't tell you the stories. I never do. But I do want to explain a few things and really tell you how much I think of them. So I have my coffee. I have a coffee today. I hope you have a cuppa as well, or if you're watching this in the evening, if you have a glass of wine. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I have a few things to explain. I'm very excited today. Okay, let's have a look. The first one you may all know, or you certainly will have heard. This is There Are Rivers in the Sky by Elif Shafak. Elif has written, maybe this was her first, but she has written another. I'm just trying to see if I could see. I think she has written others. Oh, of course. What am I saying? Honestly, everyone, you would think I'm just pointless. She's written about 12 there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books, and this is her 14th. But she has written, there is another one that came out this year. This is 2024, and this is by Penguin. Paperback, this one. It is around about, here we go, without acknowledgements. Oh, hang on. We also have some details here, some notes to the reader. Around about 470 pages. This is absolutely brilliant. It was featured on the Queen's Reading Room last year, and I did buy it last year, but I was very careful not to read it, not to hurry in reading it. I did read it late last year, but this is just magnificent. If you haven't read it, please do. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, it crosses across, that's appalling, isn't it? It crosses a number of centuries from Mesopotamia to London. There are 3 characters in this, 3 central characters. It really is about, not as it says in the title, but it does give you an indication. There are rivers in the sky. It is about how a drop of water can bring about so much and can tell so many tales. This is about rivers as well, and the exploitation, the history, the beauty of rivers, and the abuse and the misuse of rivers. But it has these 3 characters in it across a few centuries, and of course a number of countries. It's absolutely beautiful. I think from memory it has 2 rivers that feature in it, but it is all about one drop. In fact, from memory, the first page, I'll just read it here. This is beautifully, beautifully written. I think this is a classic. It will become a classic. It is, it's here for forevermore. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, this is, the first chapter is titled Raindrop, and I'll just give you the first short paragraph. Later, when the storm has passed, everyone will talk about the destruction it left behind, though no one, not even the king himself, will remember that it all began with a single raindrop. That almost says it all. It's absolutely beautiful. If you haven't read it, I do really encourage you to read it. It is a classic. It will be a classic. It should be read in... I think it should be read in higher education, you know, like what used to be HSC, which I'm not too sure what it is now. Is it VCE? But, you know, in that latter stages of your secondary schooling, I think it's absolutely beautiful, and it has so much to give the reader, so many things to think about. I recommend it. I just loved it. I really did. So that's that one. Now, the other one the other two I wanted to tell you about today. Last week, I told you about Anthony Horowitz, The Magpie Murders, murder mystery with a difference. Really good. I enjoyed it. When I first read it 8 years ago, I think it was, I didn't read all of it. I think I made it through the first chapter, and I really wasn't impressed. Or not impressed, but I really just didn't get the gist of it. I think I explained last week, I have now read it earlier, quite a few weeks ago, and I absolutely loved it. In the meantime, I've listened to a number of interviews with Anthony Horowitz, and this has now been made into a TV production. So I have listened to interviews with the actors. The TV production looks to be a little different. It is adapted for television, and so, you know, that makes sense because it is a little bit, I think for television it would be quite confusing. You couldn't really be true to this and have it make sense on television. So they have had to adapt it, and it looks really, really interesting. I'm very interested to watch it, but this is brilliant. Now, I really love that. And then last week I was partway through Moonflower Murders, which is essentially a sequel. They could stand alone, but this does follow a couple of years after this one, and it refers to Magpie Murders. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. Anthony Horowitz did not disappoint. I loved it. Now, and the main character in this, Susan Rayland, I think I said last week, I didn't really like her at first, and then I came to know her a little bit more. She does make some really silly mistakes, but I think, as in the next one I'm about to show you, if she didn't make those mistakes, we wouldn't get the story that we did, and things would not be revealed. So I understand why she is the character that she is. Plus, she's an editor. She's not a detective. She's an editor. So she's going to make mistakes in the detecting world. So that was that one. I finished it. I absolutely loved it. Now, the next one, which Anthony Horowitz says is a standalone, but it can't be, because in this, it gives you the details of these other two, particularly Magpie Murders. So you really shouldn't read this first if you're wanting to read the others, because it will give the game away. But this is Marble Hall Murders. I just finished this morning. It's brilliant. It is similar to these because we have the characters and we have a thread running through it, which is one of the, there's a novel within a novel in each of these. So we have a similarity, of course, but this is different again to the other two. There is a different plotting and there's a different structure to it. Really, really interesting. I absolutely loved it. I couldn't put it down. Susan makes mistakes in this again, really annoying, but as I say, if she didn't make those mistakes, she is an editor, she is not a detective. She's a little bolshy as well, probably because she's an editor, or maybe that's why she's an editor, but she's not a detective, she's an editor, but she is detecting for different reasons, not necessarily for the most obvious reasons. this has a great storyline, a great ending, and a really good structure to the book. Now, this is a whopper. Where did my glasses go? Oh, sorry, everyone. You know, I hate these. Now, this is about 560 pages, I think. Oh, no, 500 and without the acknowledgements and the thank yous and all of that. It is... sorry, everyone, I just licked my finger. It is my novel, that's all right. 580 pages. It's a whopper. It really is a whopper. But I recommend this series. I really enjoyed it. If you're into something a little bit different in your mysteries and detection, I recommend those. I do believe that Marble Hall Murders is the last in the series. It sort of makes that indication at the end of the novel, but I know Anthony Horowitz has strongly suggested that that's it in the Susan Raylan Atticus Pund mysteries. So do get yourself some copies of each of those because they really are good. Now, quite a long time ago, last year in fact, every year we have the book competition in October, which I hope you will all be part of this year. But last year, a book shop in the Northern Hemisphere, because last year we had a winner in the Northern and one in the Southern Hemisphere. Our bookshop in the Northern Hemisphere let us down, and one of you wonderful viewers and subscribers recommended another little shop in England called Tea Leaves and Reads. They absolutely saved the day. They were better than better. Their customer service is exemplary. So if you are in England, get down to Tea Leaves and Reads because you won't be disappointed. Their shop is so sweet. They have the absolutely brilliant titles, brilliant authors, and also wonderful editions. But anyway, they came to the rescue on the book competition. I then, because I was so happy with their service and I was really happy with what they had compared to what we have here in Australia. We have some wonderful novels and wonderful novels from England, but Tea Leaves and Reads have hardcovers, they have sprayed edges, signed copies. So I was really impressed by that and excited. So I bought a box of books last year, and you all know I undid the box here and I was really excited. I still have a few of the books that I must read, but I have presented some of those novels that I have already read on the channel. So I made the mistake of, again, looking on Tea Leaves and Reads website, and I have been on email chat with Kathryn at different times for different things, and I made the mistake and I had a look and I just could not resist. These are just absolutely beautiful and I want to show them to you now. The first thing I want to show you is that Kathryn of Tea Leaves and Reads has given me wonderful bookmarks of Tea Leaves and Reads, and they make them in the shop. They're at the shop. She's given me 4, so I have decided, and I'm sure Kathryn, she did this last time, I'm sure Kathryn would like me to give away a few of them because I only need 1. So I will give away, I think what we'll do is I'd like to give a few books away as well. I'll just flick myself in. So I may, instead of just giving these individually, I may actually give them with the books. But look, let me know if you would like a bookmark, and if you would like just a bookmark, email us or put your name in the comments below, and then we will email each other and I'll just send it out to you. And I think one just fell out down on the floor. I'm sorry about that. Kathryn also, they have this lovely business card, which is beautiful. And I might just say, Tea Leaves and Reads do these, they make these in all 4 seasons. So I think last time I had winter, and I think this one is spring. So you can collect all 4, and which we may do that. We may actually do it. So if you want to start collecting them, let me know, and we can. I'm intending on buying more books from Tea Leaves and Reads anyway, so perhaps we'll make it a quarterly thing, and hopefully Kathryn will supply a few extra bookmarks, and we can give them away on the channel. So that would be good. Now, the other thing that Kathryn has also done, which is lovely, I get these little stickers. You get these, I think everyone gets them when they buy a book. You get these little stickers that you can put in your scrapbooks or on your book covers or anything like that. So that's a bit of fun. Now, I think I said last time too, because we're in Australia and we're buying from England, from the Independent Bookshop that Tea Leaves and Reads is, it's better if you buy, the more books you buy, the cheaper it is in post, or it works out to be eventually. And so if you go to, the postage goes up in weight. So if you, for instance, you may be paying £40, let's just say, it's not, but I think it's £25 or whatever for a kilo, let's just say. Now, if you're only buying one book, and that's 250 grams for a paperback book, you're paying the same post as if you bought more books up to that kilo, and you're paying the same post. So you're making use of the weight. So when I bought these books, I asked Kathryn to pop in a pair of socks, which they have on for sale in Tea Leaves and Reads. They have a plethora of things. They have tea and pens, socks, all those comfy mugs and teacups and things. So I asked her to slip in, they had some hedgehogs, which I absolutely loved, and cherries, and they had lemons. So I asked Kathryn if she would, I think that's lemons, or it's pear. I think it's a pear, no, it's pears and lemons, I think. Pears and lemons. So I asked her to do that, which she did, to take the post up, or to take the weight of the books up to that, to make the use of I think it's a kilo. So that was wonderful. It's nice to get a new pair of socks. Now, these ones. I have so much to tell you about these. The reason why I bought these, because they were all hardcovers. And I'll tell you. I'll explain to you. Now, this first one I have already started reading. This is of particular significance. This is Spring, The Story of a Season by Michael Morpurgo. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful cover. Just stunning. Absolutely beautiful. It's a really tactile book. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, this is, Michael Morpurgo wrote The Warhorse. So if you know The Warhorse, it was it's been made into a play. It was a film. It's absolutely beautiful. Personally, I couldn't watch it because anything with animals, with the potential of them or the likelihood of them getting hurt or separated from their home, just breaks my heart. It's just who I am. I can't help it. So I never read the novel, but I did, accidentally, I began watching the beginning of The Warhorse, and I could watch no more, but that's just me. Mark watched it. He thought it was absolutely brilliant. The bits that I did watch of the film were just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. They were emotional and just really beautiful. Now, Michael Morpurgo wrote that novel, and this is indicative of his writing. Now, Michael has actually written well over 100, I think well over 100, I could be wrong, but I think it's well over 100 children's books. Warhorse was one of them. I think Warhorse was a children's book to begin with. If I'm wrong, I'll let you know, but I'm fairly sure it was. And Michael is now in his 80s, lives in England. This is an account, it's a novella really. This is an account of his life on his farm in the spring. It accounts for March, April, May, which is the spring in England. This is beautifully, beautifully written. It is quite raw and in some ways simply written, but in its simplicity, it actually packs more of a punch. It's more emotional. I absolutely love this. I have it by the bedside. It is definitely one that I haven't read much of it. I've read bits and pieces. I've probably read, it's only about 150 pages, novella, and I've only read up to the first 50. So I think now we're in April. Yeah, so he's been through March and we're now into April. It's just gorgeous. Now, he and his wife began about 50 years ago, that in England, they began a farm for children to come out from the city to the country. He's in Devon, to experience farm life. So everything from waking up early in the morning, feeding all of the animals, bedding them, working fencing, feeding late into the night, lambing, and all of that sort of thing. They encourage the children to be all part of that under supervision, to give them a connection with nature. So really well before his time, because I know that there are places now doing that, but Michael and his wife Claire began that 50 years ago, or over 50 years ago. There are now 3 farms of Michael's, or associated with Michael, that do this around England. But on one of the farms, Michael and his wife live, along with a couple of other workers, and he no longer works the farm, but he oversees it a bit. And they're retired, essentially. He writes as well. So I really do recommend this, and I'm hoping that Michael actually writes for the other 3 seasons, because this is absolutely, it's just beautiful. It's emotional. It's like I say, it's simply written, but there is an impact, a really large impact that simplicity makes on the reader. I just love it. Now, and he talks about, it's not just about what's happening on the farm. He talks about the woods on the farm and how he has always walked there to find peace and tranquility. He has taken his children, he has taken his grandchildren. And one thing that really struck me, he wrote in it that there is I think it's an oak in the woods that he always visits, and that it has deep wrinkles in its trunk. And he says, just like me. And it hit me, that really hit me. Having read what up to that point, and how beautiful it all is. And then when I read that simple line, it just really, it really hit me, everyone. It was absolutely beautiful. He really does pack a lot into this. As I say, simply written, but there is a lot on each page. He also talks about how he goes into the woods, or how he goes around the farm, and he talks to nature. And he says whether that's for him or whether it's actually for the trees and the badgers that are in the woods, he doesn't really care. He just does it because he finds it cathartic and beautiful, and he finds more of a connection with nature that way. I love that, because that's what we do. Mark and I will often talk to the birds that are outside, or the trees, or if one of the trees are not looking well, we'll talk to them. And look, we too don't know whether that's for us or whether it's because we think that it will do the tree any good. But it doesn't matter. It's a connection, and it makes you feel good. And that's what Michael says too. I absolutely love this. This will definitely, mark my words, it will definitely be on my bedside forevermore. It will just sit there, because this is one that you will come back to all the time. And I will definitely finish reading it now. I don't want to finish it, and I certainly will not rush it. I want to just read. I have been reading a little section or 2 sections every morning and every evening, but I don't want it to end. It really is a beautiful novella. I absolutely love it, and I just think the cover is just absolutely gorgeous. I do hope, as I say, that he writes for winter, autumn and summer. I think it would be beautiful to know what happens on the farm at those times. He does give you very much an insight into that. That's what this is about. But it's also about not just the farming, it's about nature and what's happening on the property. I absolutely love this, everyone. I will come back to read it in our spring here in Australia, even though there are differences in the flora and fauna, but it's still beautiful to read, I think, a couple of times a year. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. It's one of the most touching books that I've read in quite some time. I absolutely love it, and I think I may get, if he's, I don't know if he is, but I will see if he is on one of the social media sites and let him know what I think, because it's absolutely beautiful. I loved it. I'm loving it, I should say. Now, the others that I haven't read yet that I picked up from, that was from Tea Leaves and Reads, by the way. The other one that I picked up was Joanna Miller's The Eights. This is sprayed edges, and everyone, we have a signed copy. Thank you very much. This is what I love about Tea Leaves and Reads. We have a signed copy. I do love the covers. I think they're fantastic. Sprayed edges. Now, I'll give you, I haven't read this, of course. I'm going to read it when I get the opportunity, but I will just read the inside French flap for you so that you know what it's about and why it piqued my interest. Oxford, 1920, for the first time in its 1,000-year history, the world's most famous university has admitted female students. Giddy with dreams of equality, education and emancipation, 4 young women move into neighbouring rooms on Corridor 8. They have come here from all walks of life, and they are thrown into an unlikely life-affirming friendship. Dora was never meant to go to university, but after losing both her brother and her fiancé on the battlefield, has arrived in their place. Beatrice, politically minded daughter of a famous suffragette, sees Oxford as a chance to make her own way and her own friends for the first time. Socialite Otto fills her room with extravagant luxuries, but fears they won't be enough to distract her from the memories of the war years. And quiet, clever Marianne, the daughter of a village rector, arrives bearing a secret she must hide from everyone, even the Eights, if she is to succeed. But Oxford's dreaming spires cast a dark shadow. In 1920, misogyny is still rife, influenza is still a threat, and the ghosts of the Great War are still very real indeed. And as the group navigate this tumultuous moment in time, their friendship will become more important than ever. Can you see why I was interested to read that? I'm really looking forward to it, and I will let you know how that goes. Now, was it earlier this year or late last year, I said to you, it may have been last year actually. Oh, actually, I bought this one from Tea Leaves and Reads last year. This was Miss Benson's Beetle by Rachel Joyce. So it must have been after October. It must have been late last year or early this year. I told you all that I absolutely loved this. It was quirky. It's unexpected. It is so witty, it had me laughing out loud. That very British humour. It's set in London, and then we go across even through to New Zealand. It's fun. It's hilarious in some spots. It's unexpected. It's a great story. It's original. I loved it. So it inspired me to read more of Rachel Joyce when the opportunity came along. And the opportunity came along because at the same time that I was looking at these other novels, Tea Leaves and Reads. Now, I know this one is available in Australia in paperback, but the opportunity was too good to miss, everyone. This is Rachel Joyce, The Homemade God. It's here in Australia in paperback. I have seen it in the major bookshops, but look at this. Oh, I fell in love, everyone. Look at the sprayed edges on that. Is that not the most beautiful sprayed edge you've ever seen? And Inside, we have, on the end papers, we have the beautiful illustrations. This, I am so looking, oh, and something else. It's actually, you're all going to know what I'm about to say. It is actually a signed copy as well. So hardcover, signed, with these stunning edges and beautiful end papers. How could I resist? So I didn't resist. I just went with it. I also love the front cover. I think that's absolutely beautiful. Now this one is, I will read the inside French flap for you. World famous artist Vic Kemp has relied on his 4 children to run his life ever since their mother died. When he summons them with the promise of big news, the siblings drop everything, expecting he has finished the masterpiece that will be the capstone to his career. Instead, he announces that he's remarrying. His bride-to-be, Bella May, is beautiful, a fellow artist, and 50 years his junior. When they dare to object, Vic decamps with Bella May to his summer home in Italy. 6 weeks later, he is found dead, drowned in a lake he knew like the back of his hand. Netta, Susan, Goose and Iris gather at the house on Lake Orta to piece together what happened, to locate their father's missing will and to bring his body and his final painting home. Instead, as a heat wave blazes across Europe, they find themselves stuck in a waiting game, living under the same roof as their young stepmother, forced to reconsider what their father's legacy truly is. And who is Bella May? Is she the woman their father believed her to be? Their father believed her to be, or is she a force that will destroy the family for good? With wit, insight and compassion, Rachel Joyce explores memory, identity and sibling bonds, the hairline fractures that can appear, what happens when they splinter, and what it might take to bring a family back together. Is it any wonder that I wanted this one? Rachel Joyce, Miss Benson's Beetle, is absolutely one of my favourites. It is one that I will reread. It has so much in it, friendship and love and compassion and antagonistic, witty. It's just beautiful, and it has a really unusual storyline in it. So, of course, I was attracted to Rachel Joyce for The Homemade God and for this story. I can't wait to read this, and it's absolutely beautiful. Do get on to Tea Leaves and Reads. You know that I am very much an advocate for independent bookshops, of course, independent bookshops here in Australia. But as a reader and as a book lover and a book collector, I cannot limit myself to just Australia. I have never had beautiful sprayed edges. We probably do have them here, but they're certainly, I'm not aware that they're readily available. And I'm sure I would have seen them by now if they were. But these are going to England and buying them, particularly buying at quite a few books, really made it worthwhile. And Tea Leaves and Reads, their service is exemplary. They have all of these with authors. At different times they have, the authors sign them, the sprayed edges. They're just absolutely beautiful. So I couldn't help. And I have actually started ordering another lot from Tea Leaves and Reads because they had some hardcovers on sale. They were half price. And so I've bought a whole heap of them to make it really worthwhile. Kathryn's helped me sort through a few. There are a couple of other hardcovers in vintage classics that I wanted. So she's helped me with those. So I have put in another order. And once I have paid for that, I will, once Kathryn's ordered it or organised it all for me and I've paid for it, I will hopefully get those in. By the way, I was just about to say hopefully get them in the next few weeks, and I know I will, because these ones, I think they came within definitely within 10 days. I think it may have been 7. I will have to clarify that, but and confirm that. But 10 days is nothing, to wait for a book. It's a really lovely surprise in the mail. So these are from Tea Leaves and Reads. I recommend. They have wonderful service. If you are in England, how lucky you are, because, or if you're in Europe and you're intending on a trip to England, definitely go to Tea Leaves and Reads. I will leave their details in the description box below. But You can also, here in Australia, it is so easy. Kathryn, you just email Kathryn with the books that you want. She organises the post and you pay. I do ask, if you are going to do that in Australia, to be ready to pay a little bit of money. Overall, it's not a cheap affair, but it works out. If you're sensible about it and you buy quite a few books and you spread the post over those books, you're really not paying much more. In fact, I don't think you're paying any more than as if you were buying the books here in Australia. And don't forget, you're getting these beautiful, well, you can get, not all of them are like this, but you can get sprayed edges and signed copies. And of course, sometimes they're on sale, which I've just purchased. So I do recommend, if you're wanting to get those unusual books or books that are here in Australia but not as beautiful as this, hard copy, signed, and beautiful end papers. So that's that. Otherwise, definitely wherever you are, always independent bookshops. It's really important to keep these bookshops alive and well, because there is a very small margin that these book sellers and bookshop owners do not get a lot of money per book. It is literally, sometimes it's not even here in Australia, it's not even $1 a book. So do be aware of that. You know, that they are selling at the price that's recommended because they're not making much on it. These are the really large non-booksellers that sell these books. They are buying them in such bulk quantity, and any loss that they make on that, they're making up by selling other things, as in, you know, clothing or camping gear or whatever it is that they have in these really large department shops. So we must remember that. And, you know, even though we think sometimes, oh, that's a little bit more expensive and maybe I could get it cheaper here in another big shop, do remember that if we don't, first of all, the bookshop owners are not getting that much of a markup on these at all, and they are passionate about what they do. Kathryn and William are so passionate. They know all of these books. They know all of these books. They know the authors, or they're in tune with the authors, so they know of the authors, and so you get more information for the interaction that you have with the independent booksellers. So I really do encourage you, even if you just buy one book, buy less, but buy it from an independent bookshop. Because what you're doing with these other places too, you are actually giving money to millionaires. They are already very wealthy, whereas your average bookseller is making a living. And more often than not, much more often than not, they are... I'm about to sneeze, everyone. I'm so sorry. I think I'm about to sneeze. Sorry, and I don't cut these, so I do apologise. I felt like I was going to sneeze. More often than not, independent booksellers put that money back into their community by buying other things in that community or donating things in that community. So it's really important that we do that with everything. You know, buy local. Where you can, buy local. Where you can, buy independent. And, you know, then you are helping people who really do need the money. That is their life, that is their income. Whereas if we buy from these other places, you're just making very rich people richer. That's my stand on that, and I apologise if that offends anyone, but it is true, and, you know, that's just the way I feel. Okay, so Moonflower Murders, Magpie Murders, Moonflower Murders, and now Marble Hall Murders. I recommend this. I think it's a great series. I love it. I enjoyed it. Yes, the character does make me annoyed, but I absolutely loved it for that reason too. And There Are Rivers in the Sky by Elif Shafak. This is a masterpiece. It's absolutely beautiful. You need to read it. Did I tell you the amount of pages? Did I do that? It's around about 500, I think. Let me have a look. Did I tell you? Yeah, about 570 or 580. Sorry, 470 or 480. It's absolutely beautiful. It too is a bit of a whopper, although not as big as Marble Hall Murders, but it is a good size read. It's beautiful, and it would make a lovely gift as well, because the stories and the morals and ethics and ideas in here are, yeah, I think everyone should read it. It's absolutely beautiful. So that's that. Okay, that's it, everyone. Now, what I do have to say to you is, first of all, I am buying more books. I have more books that I've purchased from Abby's Bookshop. They are coming shortly, and they're coming in stages, actually, because some of them they had to order in for me. So I know that there should be a parcel for me this week, which I will show you next week. And then I think the others are due at the end of May, early June. So I'm looking forward to that. And I will also be buying more from Tea Leaves and Reads. This is my birthday month, so I'm making the most of it. I'm allowed to, I think, anyway. It's a damn good excuse, I think. I'm making the most of it by exploiting my love of books and my birthday month. What can I say? I have to be honest. I love my books and I love my reading, and I'm also really wanting to bring all of these to you. The other thing I wanted to tell you is I am going away for a little while in the beginning of June. It won't affect this channel at all. What I'm doing is I'm going away on my own. I am going away to film for the other channel, Australian Book Travels, and also to have a little bit of time out for myself. I want to just sit and read and go for a walk and do all those lovely things. A little bit of self-care, a bit of self-reflection. But I'm going to take you with me on this channel, because I will obviously be going to bookshops. And I'm also hoping that I may do, there are a couple of places I think I can go to that I can film for you as a relaxation video, so that you can read with the music or water or whatever I hope to film whilst you are reading. So I'd like to do that for you as well. It won't affect how this channel works, because I will still have the book recommendations, and I don't think it will actually affect the other channel either. I am filming up until I leave anyway, and will have some footage ready to go whilst I am away. But I just wanted to let you know that I will definitely, just for this channel, be taking you into bookshops or libraries, or and perhaps even a walk somewhere, and just perhaps even read somewhere together. That would be lovely. So yeah, I just want to let you know that. Don't forget all of these. They're absolutely wonderful, brilliant novels, and some of them, of course, I'm looking forward to reading. And I think that's about it, everyone. I think that's it for this week. I've shown you the books from Tea Leaves and Reads. I will leave all their details in the description box below. The two boys are sitting on the chairs here. They're snoring away. I'm surprised you may be able to hear them. Maybe not. And I am spending the rest of the day out and about. I have lots to do today. So I look forward to seeing you all next week, and with perhaps a parcel or two. Oh, I'm so excited. I love all my parcels. Oh, and also, I mustn't forget to tell you, actually, I may present them next week. There are a number of books that HarperCollins have sent me, and Fremantle Press, I think, that I still have yet to read and present on the channel. But what I may do is present them to you next week. Those that I have read and those that I'm about to read. So it may be a big one next week, or I may actually have two, perhaps, book recommendations over the next week. We'll see how that works out. But definitely I will show you those next week. And I have also to remind you about a few that are due this month. They're due to be released. So I will do that next week. Until then, I will say goodbye. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, everyone. Happy reading. Bye for now.